Let's quickly talk about Dakota Ditcheva. Dakota progressed to 11 and 0 on Thursday night after a dominant victory over Lisa Maldine in her opening PFL full season debut. Obviously, as we know, she won the PFL Europe. Uh, you can call it a competition. It was a tournament. She went 3-0 in that. She finished Malin Hermansen by rear naked choke in the first round. She finished Cornella Home by TKO in the third round, and then her fight in the final against Valentina Skadazzi finished by doctor stoppage at the end of the first round. She then faced, like I said, Lisa Maldine, and she absolutely battered her. The problem is with Dakota Ditcheva is that if you look at the girls that she's faced, the competition of the girls that she's faced just isn't there in comparison to the rest of, some of the girls in the flyweight tournament. If we just look at her PFL career so far, she faced Hasna Gaber, who pretty much quit in there, in my opinion. I was there, I was in the arena, she quit in there. Uh Cora Jeans, 3-0. Yeah, I mean it was a little bit of a step up in competition, but at 3-0, the girl had only faced, her the combined record of the opponents that she'd faced was 1-0, and that's it. She faced two debutants, finishing them both. We then move into Malin Hermansen, who, she was 5-4 when she faced Dakota Ditcheva, and she lost her last three fights. Why she got the opportunity, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure, but it is what it is. Cornella Home, 6-5. Um, she did have a pretty strong IMAF background. She actually holds the win over Manon Fiorot in the amateur game, but a professional game hasn't quite gone to the levels that she thought it maybe could. And then in the final, Valentina Skitizzi, she was 2-1 when she faced Dakota Ditcheva. Having, for me, she didn't even get to the finals because she lost to Manuela Marconetto, who is, she missed weight and had to withdraw from the final. Even then, Dakota would have beaten her. Let that not take away from Dakota's skills. She is one of the most spiteful strikers that we've ever seen in the PFL, especially in the women's divisions. There's two women that have pretty much made the PFL what it is. Kayla Harrison and Larissa Pacheco. Kayla Harrison is not known for her striking. She's known for her grappling and her judo background. Larissa Pacheco is known for her vicious striking. And Dakota Ditcheva is taking over Larissa Pacheco's sort of crown as the vicious striker in this year's tournament. Of course, different weight classes, I know. 25 years old, Dakota Ditcheva. She's currently sitting joint top of the women's flyweight table in the PFL. There's three women on 6 points: Dakota Ditcheva, Talia Santos, which we'll come back to talk about in a second, and Jenna Bishop. Liz Carmouche has 3 points. Kana Watanabe has 2 points. And then Juliana Velasquez, Chelsea Hackett, Aaliyah Joanne, Lisa Maldine are all on 0 points. And Shanna Young, who missed weight, is on -1 point. So who's going to be next for Dakota Ditcheva? Of course, we don't actually know yet. But if I'm the PFL, and I imagine that they'll go down this road, I'm keeping her away from Liz Carmouche, Kana Wanatabe, and Talia Santos. Probably going to give her Chelsea Hackett because Hackett is someone who isn't great on the floor and can potentially, you know, cause slight problems, but not massive problems for Dakota Ditcheva. But I want to go back to talk about Talia Santos because I think the final will either be Dakota Ditcheva versus Talia Santos or Dakota Ditcheva versus Liz Carmouche. No disrespect to Jenna Bishop, I just don't think she's well-rounded enough to beat some of the top girls in the tournament. The Liz Carmouche fight is a whole different kettle of fish. It's a woman who's coming towards the end of her career in Carmouche, and a woman who is just really starting off her career. She's 11-0 at 25 years old, dangerous Dakota Ditcheva. I really want to see Talia Santos versus Dakota Ditcheva. Santos obviously called out Ditcheva after her PFL 1 victory. And Talia Santos, and Dakota Ditcheva took swipe at both Erin Blanchfield and Talia Santos. She commented saying, Talia Santos lost to Erin Blanchfield, and we saw, just how good Erin Blanchfield's stand-up was last week, obviously referring to the Manon Fiorot loss. Dakota Ditcheva is now beginning to take over as the face of the PFL for me, and rightfully so. She is probably the best female talent that we've seen in mixed martial arts in a number of years, and she's building her career correctly. For me, I don't want to see her in the PFL for too long. I want to see her maybe win the PFL tournament this year, potentially compete next year, and then I want to see her in the UFC. We don't want it to be like Kayla Harrison, who joined the UFC too late, for want of a better phrase. And if I just pull up the UFC rankings here, can you just imagine some of the potential fights? I mean, this is also talking about years to come, so there's going to be women coming in and out of the in and out of the flyweight rankings. But Dakota Ditcheva versus Ariana Lipski, Dakota Ditcheva versus Caitlin Cramiria, Rose Namajunas, the Bull versus the Matador, Dakota Ditcheva versus Jessica Andrade, Manon Fiorot versus Dakota Ditcheva is a fight that I'd watch now. Valentina Shevchenko, and of course Alexa Grasso. It's time for Dakota Ditcheva to really take over, and I genuinely think that she is the best prospect that we've seen in recent times, especially in the female weight classes. What we're going to look at now is just really quickly go through some of the other PFL 1 results. We've got Valentin Moldovsky knocked out Ante Delaja in the first round, scoring 6 points. Denis Goltsov knocked out Linda Vassell in the third round. As I said earlier, Liz Carmouche beat Juliana Velasquez for the third time via unanimous decision. Daniel James finished Marcelo Gome in the first round. I'm going to butcher this name. Sergei Bilostenini beat Blagoj Ivanov by unanimous decision. As I said, Talia Santos, a -900 favorite, finished Elira Joanne in the first round. Oleg Popov finished Steve Mowry in the second round. Kind of want to be got a decision win over Shayna Young. Shayna Young also missed weight. Jenna Bishop scored a nasty armbar over Chelsea Hackett in the first round of their bout. Dimitri Ivy scored a big upset win, over Lucas Brennan in the featherweight rankings, and Bryce Meredith continued to be undefeated, beating Ty Johnson by decision. Looking ahead, we've got PFL 2 this weekend, I believe, headlined by Impa Kasanganay and Alex Palozzi. Rob Wilkinson takes on Tom Breeze, which is a fight that's certainly going under the radar. Tom Breeze signing for the PFL after Phil Davis had to withdraw from the tournament. Clay Collard versus Patricky Pitbull at lightweight. Mads Bernal versus Michael Dufort. Sabadou Sai returns, this time at light heavyweight, against Josh Silveira. Other highlights on the card: Brett Primus is on the card versus Bruno Miranda. Antonio Carlos Jr. returns. JJ Wilson versus Adam Piccolotti. We've got lots of good fights going up and down the PFL 2 card, but unfortunately, it's probably going to be overshadowed by UFC 300 this week. But this video was all about Dakota Ditcheva. She's the future. She's the best possible woman to sort of carry that sort of mantle, as it were, going forward. And just some other sort of female news, as it were. We've already got I dropped a video, an article on the women's lightweight debut and MMA debut of Savannah Marshall. And we've got 2 confirmed names, both from the UK, for PFL Europe in the women's flyweight division in Sammy Jo Luxton, who everyone knows I'm quite high on, and Chanel Dyer. Really want to see those 2 in the final, to be honest, because that would be a great matchup. But like I said, this video is all about Dakota Ditcheva. She's the future. She's probably the best in that flyweight tournament. She should definitely be at least one of the 2 favorites. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for her.